It's so good to be with you guys today, Drew and Tom. So share with us a bit about what it is like to come and meet with you guys and what it's like to enter your cabinet shop and what you have to offer.
We will. I've been in the cabinets industry now for 42 years, and my son Drew here came along. How long's it been, Drew?
Just about 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of transitioning and putting a lot of my duties onto Drew now, and he does all of our drawing, and he's a big creative force here. We collaborate a lot with the creativity that goes on in the cabinetry that we do. And when you come in as a customer, we sit down, and the first thing we do is talk about your ideas. We obviously have a floor plan of your house in front of us, and we go from area to area and talk about those ideas that you have. And we take a lot of notes, and then we start in our design process, and we try to create what we've drawn from you into those designs that we do. Then the next meeting we present to you what we have on paper so you can see it. And we have a pretty complex software that we use, so we can do 3D renderings, color up in the colors that you want. Then you have a real perspective on what you're seeing. You can actually see it, what's in your house. And if you don't like this aspect and you love this aspect, we can modify things along the way so that we arrive at exactly what you want in that process. We've had software for design work and our production. Everything is integrated. What we do here and draw goes out to the shop, and we have a CNC machine out there, and all that data is transferred out there automatically. And so the guys out there just have to bring up the code to run, and all the sheets are cut. But Drew's really brought us into the 21st century with that design software.
And I think too, when you can communicate that well through visual images, the communication gap lessens when you can actually see what you're talking about.
For sure.
You can see how different cabinets are playing with each other. And I think that a lot of people in the construction industry can look at a floor plan or an elevation and they can automatically visualize it because they've been doing it for years. But a lot of the clients, they come in and they kind of have an idea of what they want, but for them to be able to see that in 3D really makes the whole design and the whole idea click.
What I'm hearing is that people bring pictures, but you really ask the questions of the different design elements that they love to really make something unique that's all their own, that they just fall in love with.
My first question to him when somebody brings me a picture is, what in this picture caught your eye? Because it's usually just something small, like the door style or this little molding, or maybe it's the whole thing.
Oh, it's a work of art. I mean, this cabinetry is truly a work of art. You're kind of extracting the vision that somebody has and really kind of maybe even pushing the design a little bit further to really make it their own.
Exactly.
If somebody's maybe weighing out the options of a box line, semi-custom line, and something that you do, how is it different? Tell them a little bit about how that product, and every product, I think, too, in fairness, has its place, but how are they different?
One of the things that I always tell people, it's a difference between buying a Ford Taurus or a Mercedes-Benz. The fit and finish that you see between those two cars is the same thing in our cabinetry. We consider ourselves, the Mercedes-Benz of cabinets. We're pretty competitive price-wise between the two. There really isn't that big of difference between price compared to the quality.
The difference between a box cabinet versus custom, right? For someone that's just tiptoeing into a cabinet world that just doesn't know, what do they need to know about the difference of the two products?
The biggest part, I think, is the fillers. Wouldn't you say, Jim?
Yeah, and I think a box cabinet is great at filling a space with cabinets.
Okay.
They come in preset sizes, so you're very limited to the arrangement. So you have to kind of pick and choose which cabinets fit together. And if you're at the end of a run and you want your cabinets to go 6 inches farther, you're kind of out of luck with a box cabinet. Whereas with custom cabinets, we truly design everything down to the 16th of an inch, so we can get your dimensions exactly to fit the room. And if you have certain items that you want to fit in a specific drawer, we can make that cabinet sized for your specific items or whatever your use might be. For a lot of people, especially if they're first-time home builders, I think the process of not only the cabinetry, but the entire build is a little bit overwhelming. So when they come to us, we can help them guide the process and help them along the way of their needs and their wants in their cabinets.
clients can kind of come in, they're overwhelmed by the process of building in general. Maybe they've got kids and they've got life, and now they're taking on this new build, and they just think like, oh, this is going to take so much of my life, right? And what you guys are saying is you really kind of meet them where they are and you guide them, and they can be as involved or uninvolved as they would like to be, and you'll just take and fill in the gaps and guide them.
I always walk a job at the end, and I always have a screwdriver in my back pocket. So I look at every single door and drawer adjustment, and if it's something needs this little tweak along the way. So that's me. At the very end of the job, I always walk them.
Now that is passion.
Yeah.
The owner of the company walks around with a screwdriver in his back pocket. That's how to get it done. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Tom and Drew, for taking the time to talk to us today. To learn more about Wood Traditions Cabinetry or how to approach a build of your own, feel free to reach out to us at homesbymoderno.com.